Hi folks, it's Bob from Mountain Crest Farms again. Last few videos, you would think I'd never start a video anywhere except leaning on the tailgate of my truck. Well, yeah, okay, this is a good place to start. Today, let's go up and take a look at that little greenhouse, hoop house, whatever kind of name you want to put on it. Name's not important, what happens in there is, that we're putting together for microgreens. Let's see how that's progressing, and maybe you'll get some ideas for yourself. See you after the intro. Well, as you can see, there's been a few changes since the last time you saw this, a few videos ago. And no, I didn't video putting this together to this point. I know, I should have. Right now we'll do a little walkthrough and I'll explain what we've done, why we did it, and might give you some ideas. So let's go take a look. Okay, here we go, into the entrance. Yes, the far end leans to the right a little bit. The ground leans to the right and we followed the ground. This end, the ground leans to the right too, but we used the level. So if they don't match, it doesn't really matter. You might wonder why PVC, and it doesn't look real substantial. I understand that. There's a reason for that. Two reasons. Building it with PVC instead of buying pre-made hoop houses saves you a huge chunk of money. And look what's above it. I don't know if you can see it against the sky, but this hoop house is directly under and in a power line right away. Since it's real temporary, since it can come down real easily, power company's not causing any problems about it. They could, but they're not. If they need to work on it, I wanted something that I could take apart pretty easy and not destroy it. And this one is built in such a way that I can do just that. And if I stumble around, this is real uneven ground. So, what we have here, we'll talk about the entranceway in a minute. What we have here is two 10-foot lengths of PVC, cut down to 9.5 feet each. For each arch, connected with two T's. You can get 4-ways. They cost a fortune, about $3.50 a piece or something like that. This is a lot cheaper. What's holding them in the ground? 18-inch piece of rebar that's driven into the ground with about 6 inches sticking up out of the ground, and the end of the pipe slips down over it. Then you've got your hip board right there. And you got your base board, which is not completed. One more to put down there. We ran out of wood. Down there. Connected differently, you'll notice the hip board is bolted. Through bolted, it's not going anywhere. However, that board down there is connected with a strap. That's because of the rebar that's in there. Have to use a strap. Also, where we have connected the opening, the entranceway here, to the hoop, we use the straps too. That's concession to the power company's desire for this to come down easily. If the only thing that connects the entryway and the other end, which is not completed yet, if the only thing that connects that to the hoops, well, that means you can take the ends off as a unit and lay them aside, get them out of the way, come in and clip each one of these supports between the hoops, clip it, lift the hoops off, lay them to the side, and all you have to put it back together is a union right here on this pipe. Now, see all those daubs of white paint? There's a reason for that too. My white PVC is painted white. Now, why would I do a thing like that? Especially a sloppy paint job like this. It looks terrible. Why would I do something like that? Well, for the purposes of the greenhouse, the plastic over it, the cheapest way to go, and the video part is fixing to get really not interesting because it's going to be just me talking. The cheapest way to go on putting plastic on a greenhouse is to go to Home Depot and buy, they've got several products, painter's drop cloths, they come pretty big sized, all that sort of thing. The stuff is not UV protected, and you'll be replacing it every single year. I'm not doing that. I'm putting greenhouse material on here. It's not that expensive. Shipping and everything, I've got about $65 in greenhouse material for this greenhouse. It's got a 4-year guarantee. It's 6 mil thick. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. Why? Now, what does that have to do with me painting the hoops? Well, the greenhouse plastic is guaranteed for 4 years. But the warranty is no good if it's up against PVC, like this PVC pipe. PVC pipe has one real reason and one rumored reason not to use it for a hoop house. The rumored reason that is not true is that in the sun, ultraviolet radiation will degrade the PVC. It will crack and splinter and fall apart. That's not true. The sun will degrade PVC pipe to a depth of about 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch. It will not affect the structural integrity of the pipe. Just because they're bent into a bow, the stress won't make them crack if they didn't crack when you put them up. The only thing that might make them crack is if you live in a real cold environment. The sun and the ultraviolet radiation is not going to affect them at all. The second problem with PVC pipe for a hoop house like this is the fact that it off-gasses some kind of nasty gases that there's not enough to be a problem for people that are standing around the pipe and everything. However, it will degrade the plastic that you put over your greenhouse. So you spend a little bit extra money, more than you would spend on drop cloths at Home Depot. You put greenhouse plastic over your greenhouse up against PVC pipe. Your 4-year warranty just went out the window, and they can tell. So how do you keep the gases away from the plastic? Cheap white paint. That down there hanging on that ladder is a gallon of white latex paint. And how did I decide which gallon to buy? I went to the paint department at Home Depot. I said, I want white paint. I want the cheapest thing you've got. And I want latex. That's what they gave me. So, took an old sock, put on a nitrile glove on my hand, and put the sock over it. Used that sock for a paintbrush, dipped it into the can of paint, and started wiping down the PVC pipe. That's why the crappy paint job. So, we've got it this far. It doesn't look like much. It's not much right now. But this is something you can do. At this point, I have less than $100 in this. Lumber, PVC pipe, paint, everything. There's less than $100 right here. When I put the plastic on it, we'll be up to about $175. And then there'll be 2 sheets of plywood to cover parts of the end openings. So the entire greenhouse is going to be up for less than $200. And this little bitty greenhouse, you're sitting there saying, Bob, you've got a greenhouse that's 8 feet wide and 20 feet long. And you're talking about a market garden. Number one, this is the start. There's another greenhouse up the hill, and there will be another one up the hill past it, both of which are a lot bigger. But this is to grow microgreens. There will be shelving in here with 10 by 20 flats, growing microgreens for the high-end restaurant trade. So hang around, keep coming back, watch our videos, learn how to do microgreens, learn how to raise large black pigs, learn a little bit about a self-sufficient homesteading lifestyle. As always, like I always remind y'all, number one, click the little like button down there at the bottom. Click the subscribe button, and when you do that, a little bell's going to appear. Click that, you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And most importantly, whether you like this video, whether you subscribe, regardless of anything else, keep coming back. And even regardless of that, the tomb was empty, and he is alive. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'll try to make it a little bit more interesting than this, just looking at hoops.